Hello students, my name is Mr. Brysh and I am your counselor. I wanted to talk to you a bit today about how to complete the first assignment in your ICAP. And you can see it on the right hand side here. It's your goals. No matter what grade you're in, you have the first assignment is going to be to create some goals. Goals are going to be the starting point for the ICAP, and the ICAP is designed to take your goal and figure out the path it's going to take to reach that goal and accomplish that goal. That's why we're doing the ICAP. So what you want to do is you want to click on Materials, and then you want to choose one of the ICAPs to do, and it depends on your grade. So 9th graders will be clicking here, 10th graders here, 11th graders here, and 12th graders here. So we'll choose the 9th grade one for purposes of our demonstration here. What you'll see inside is a little explanation about what to do. And then you'll also see a video, an introduction to Naviance. So if you don't know what Naviance is or haven't ever used it before, there's a video about how it works. Here's the link to get there, because this is where we're going to put our goals and all the other things we're going to do this year in Naviance. And then if you click into the assignments, 9th grade goals for instance, what you're going to see are some steps in order for you to accomplish your goal of doing your goal. So I've also put a bunch of files on the bottom here. And so you can see the PowerPoint that we're about to go over is going to be right here. You can watch it either in the Word PowerPoint version, or you could watch it in the PDF version, in case you don't have Word on your computer. And you're going to need this. So if you're watching me now, we're about to start the presentation and the PowerPoint, so you might want to click on the College and Readiness rubric so that you have that ready, because you're going to complete that while we're talking about the college and career readiness stuff that we're about to get into. So click on that. If you need to pause me, go back in there, get to this goals section if you're a 9th grader or 10th grader or 12th grader, and click on the college and career readiness rubric. Now that you have the career readiness document open, we're going to be using that in our goal setting activities here. So you may be wondering, how do I set goals for myself? And people can come up with goals off the top of their head, but I don't want you to do that. I want you to seriously think about it. And I want you to be serious about this, because the ICAP is designed to help you meet those goals. And I want you to have serious goals in mind when we're doing this. So today we're going to introduce goals and pathways. We'll talk a little bit about post-secondary readiness and what 21st century skills are. We'll talk about co-curriculars and extracurricular activities and service learning opportunities. And hopefully what we'll do is connect your current interests to some future activities and then to college or career. So first up, let's do a little activity here. So after I'm done giving instructions, feel free to pause me and go do this task. You can work with a couple other people if you'd like to. You can go get family members if you're at home right now. You can find some people in the classroom if you're watching this in the classroom. You can do this totally by yourself. But what you're going to do is look at the question stems here, and then you're just going to fill in the sentence. So fill in the sentence, when I grow up. Or 10 years in the future, fill in the blank. When I graduate from high school, what's going to happen then? When I am in college, this is going to happen. My dream job is whatever it may be. Once you've thought a little bit about generally what your future will look like, what I want to say now is that by the end of this assignment, you'll have a goal. But it's not just good enough to have a goal, you have to be able to accomplish that. So the path that accomplishes that goal is really important, and that's what ICAP is here to measure, is the path that's going to accomplish your goals, your career goals, your college and career goals. And research shows that there are 3 areas in which successful people accomplish their goals. One is academic knowledge, one is 21st century and workforce skills, and another one is certain attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors. And you may be asking yourself, what does any of that mean? Let's take a minute to brainstorm here. So if you're using a partner last time, let's use a partner again. What I want you to be doing is I want you to brainstorm in academic knowledge what you think that means. And then go on to 21st century and workforce skills. What do you think that might include? When you're done there, move to certain key attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors. So what attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors do you think people need to be successful? Pause me here and I'll wait until you're ready to continue. Let's talk about academic knowledge here. So hopefully you were following directions before and you have your readiness rubric already ready to go. Because what we're going to do now is use it. So academic knowledge includes all of the core academic subjects you can think of, reading, math, science, social studies, those sorts of things. And they're usually measured by grades and also by assessments. We're talking ACT, TCAP, and those sorts of things. So get out your college and career readiness rubric and complete that first top section called academic knowledge. If you need to know what your GPA is, this is a good time to let me know, because I can tell you just by looking at your transcripts. You can also go into IC yourself through the parent portal and find your GPA on your transcript. It's listed on the left-hand side, kind of at the top. And once you know your GPA, what you want to do then is think about your TCAP test scores. Think about your ACTs. That could be another one you could fill this out with. And then what you want to do is you want to be circling, how you rate in those categories, right? In reading and writing and math and science. And then give yourself an overall kind of grade, right? Is your GPA above a 2.5 to a 4.0? That's good. Below a 2.5 to a 4.0 would be developing. Right? It's the combination of your grades and your test scores that are going to lead to your career options. Okay, so remember this goal plus the path to achieve that goal. Let's talk about 21st century workforce skills. So as you can see from the video, 21st century skills really talk about skills, not content. So many employers are interested in these things, critical thinking and problem solving and collaboration and creativity, more than they're interested in the content knowledge that you have. So it's more important to have these skills than it is to have memorized dates or to, know off the top of your head a quote from Shakespeare. It's more important for you to be able to critically think, to make good decisions, to communicate well, that sort of thing. Okay, so it's time to go back to the readiness rubric. And it's time to assess our 21st century skills. So this is really for you. Think about these areas that they have here. And you have two choices. I'm still working on these skills, or yes, I use these skills effectively. So feel free to circle whatever you think is the best fit for you. Like that. So feel free to pause me again, and we'll continue when you're ready. Okay, so let's talk about the third area, the academic attitudes and beliefs. I would like to take a minute to talk about a growth mindset and show you another video. So let's do that right now. Here's that growth mindset in action. I think the thing I like best about the growth mindset is the idea that mistakes are natural, that they happen, that they're supposed to happen, and that's how you learn. There's also this idea of being able to have a positive outlook and understand that hard work equals success, and that's what I like about the growth mindset. So let's get back to the readiness rubric here, and for the final part of it, what we want to do is we want to make sure that we think about our academic mindset and our academic responsibility, and we kind of place ourselves on this sliding scale. So, if at the top here you believe that I can succeed in my classes, if you strongly believe that, you would circle the 10. If you really don't believe it, you would circle 1. And you would do that for all of these categories. So let's see you do that now. and then we'll come back and use this to get to the goals. So circle everything. Give yourself a check mark, whatever the box is, after you add up the numbers. And then unpause me and we can continue. Okay, so now let's get to the actual goal setting. Now we've learned a little bit about growth mindset. We've talked about what 21st century skills would be. Let's actually make our goals. What we're going to want is some steps in order to reach the goals, and that's what the ICAP will provide us, right? So once we have our goal in mind, then we can use these steps to get us there along the path, right? So if our goal is to, let's say, maintain a 3.0 grade point average for this quarter, we need little steps, baby steps, to get us there. So maybe we are going to want to increase our attendance to be there 90% of the time or above. Maybe we will want to set aside an hour of night to read and study or complete homework, whatever the case is. We might also want to increase organization by using a planner or a binder or cleaning it out every once in a while. Maybe once per week would be a good idea. We'd want to earn 80% or above on each test or assignment, because that would be a B. And we want to complete assignments on time, because that's going to help us be proficient. All those 5 steps together will help us accomplish that goal of being a student with a 3.0. So let's talk about co-curricular interests and activities first before we actually make our goal. These are important because it's not just academics that are important factors in your success. It's also the idea that you have interests outside of school and you can tie your academic learning in with your interests outside of school. So those activities are called co-curricular or extracurricular activities, right? They also might be service learning, which is finding a project and then applying the skills that you know inside the classroom to a project that helps your community outside the classroom. These activities can do a lot of things for you. They can help you discover your talents, because maybe you didn't know that you had a talent for meeting new people and talking to them and, maybe, making a passionate plea for a particular service or industry. You might explore your interests. Maybe you already know something that you really like and you want to focus on that, and maybe you're artistic. Maybe you are good at sports. But either way, those things will help you reach your goals and build your resume, which will be important both to your college, if you're going to college, or your career. So some examples we have at APS Online are the Gaming Club. We also have a class, Student Leadership, that is focused on service learning, right, giving back to the community through projects and that sort of thing. And the Gaming Club actually came about because there were some people in the Student Leadership class who said, hey, we're interested in gaming and we don't have a club. So they actually got together and then they went out and they found a sponsor, which would be me and Mr. Trainer, and they said, hey, let's form a club. We're interested in gaming and gaming culture. Let's get some of us together, play some games, talk about gaming, have some fun. And we said, great, that'd be fantastic. I thought that was a great idea. So if there's any club or activity that you would like to attend that we don't currently offer, then maybe you should go to Student Leadership and say, Ms. Scritchfield is in charge, right? So maybe you should go to Ms. Scritchfield and the Student Leadership students and say, hey, I'm really interested in this activity or club or whatever the case is. How do I go about making it happen? And then, of course, there are sports, which run through your home school. Since we're at APS Online, we don't have our own football team or our own cheerleaders or our own programs like that. What we do is we allow you to go to your home school. So if you're at Gateway and then you came to APS Online, you can go back to Gateway since it's your home school and participate in cheerleading, in swimming, in football, in soccer, whatever the case is. All right, so let's actually get to the goals finally. You've been waiting for this, I know. So SMART goals are what we want to create. And SMART stands for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. So the specific part of SMART means that you need details. You don't want to be vague. You want to be very exact. That will help you in the measurable category. If you use numbers or specifics in lots of detail, it's easy to measure. You want it also to be attainable. So you want to choose something that's a stretch for you, but not impossible. You also want to be realistic. What your goals should reflect is your personality and your abilities and your skills. And then you want it to be timely, which means that you want to make sure you give yourself a limit, a time limit, so that at the end of the time limit you can go back and look and see if you actually met the goal. So here's a sample goal. I want to get good grades. Let's see if it's a SMART goal. Is it specific? Well, not really. There's no numbers in it. There's no time limit. There's no specifics at all. It's very vague, actually. Is it measurable? Well, not really, because what does good mean? Does good mean a 3.0? Does good mean a 4.0? Does good mean some A's? Does good mean passing? Nobody knows. Your version of good, my version of good, your parents' version of good could be three separate things. Is it attainable? Well, I don't know, because I'm not sure how you attain goodness. It's going to depend on the person. Is it realistic? Well, I guess depending on how you define good, I guess it can be realistic. Is it timely? Well, there's no real time attached to this. It doesn't say if you want good grades at the end of the quarter, semester, year, by graduation. It doesn't say any of that. So in contrast, let's take a look at a SMART goal, revised version of our last one. I want to get a 3.0 by the end of the quarter. So if that's the case, is it specific? Well, sure. You have a 3.0, that's a specific number, and it's by the end of the quarter. Those are both very specific things. Is it measurable? Yeah. 3.0, you can just look at your transcript by the end of it or your grades by the end of it and figure out if you have a 3.0. Is it attainable? I would say that B's are attainable for most students. Being proficient on most things is attainable by most students. Is it realistic? Well, sure, B's during a quarter can be completely realistic. And is it timely? Well, it gives a time limit, right? The end of the quarter. So that makes it timely. So now it's your turn. What you need to do now is go to the counseling page in Schoology. You want to click on Materials. Then you want to click on ICAP 9 or 10 or 11 or 12. And then you want to click on 9th grade goals, 10th grade goals, or 11th grade goals, or 12th grade goals. And you want to follow the steps to create your own SMART goals. Use the readiness rubric that you just had, that we've made throughout this presentation, and then you combine that with your ideas for what your goals will be, and you should be able to come up with some pretty smart goals. And then the ICAP then will help you successfully reach those goals, and hopefully by the end of the year you'll be proud of the accomplishments that you made, that you met those goals. Okay, so I'll let you get to that, and when you have questions, contact me and let me know.